Big 1080 AM WUFO. You are inside the essence of the neo-soul movement with the music of Esperanza Spalding and Algebra, Black Gold. And as I promised you, got a very special in-studio guest, good friend of mine, good colleague of mine. See her out there on the scene from time to time. Her name is Kezia Pearson. She's an author. She's a photographer. Most importantly, she's an educator. And on an additional note, she's an alpha angel. So how appropriate is that? Right after the Black Gold song, right? All right, Kezia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The title of the book is called Covered Mirrors. Tell us what made you write the book, Kezia.
Yes, well, the book is called Covered Mirrors, and at first, when I first started teaching, I thought all these things that are going on in the education system, I should write a book, but my other thought was people would never believe it. And then last year, the students received a packet where they had to prepare for the state assessment, and it was telling them to write about a story that they were with their family and something happens. And 15 minutes before that class, I was like, you know what, I need to write a story so they'll know what I'm talking about. And when I got in front of the class to explain to them what they were supposed to do, I read my story, and they said, well, what happens next? And I'm like, what do you mean what happens next? I'm just trying to show you what you're supposed to do. They was like, no, something has to happen next. What happens next? I was like, I just wrote this story. And they was like, well, you need to continue writing. So since then, my students really have been pushing me to finish this book. So. Okay,
so I know it's like a compilation of journal entries, as you were telling me when we were talking earlier.
Right.
Could you share a story that pertains to some of the experiences of your students? Because I know that was part of the inspiration for it.
I've had students in the past that were homeless, that bounced from house to house, stayed with a friend a couple nights, and then the next night they might not have anywhere to stay. I've had other students where their parents or one of their parents was incarcerated, and since they were in 5th grade, and now they're much older and they're still dealing with these issues. I've had students that have seen things that they shouldn't have seen, like they've seen people they love get shot and killed right in front of them. It's just the things that the kids come in with, and we expect them to sit there and just take the notes or do what we ask them to do, but we never get involved in what their backstory is. And if we would learn about that student, maybe they would be able to learn, because right now their concerns is what they have to deal with when they leave the building. Are they going to have a place to stay? Are they going to be able to eat? And that's their main concern. It's not about your work.
What's been the response from, I know anytime somebody, even people that I know that have written books, they always run it by their friends just to get a response, because I know it hasn't come out yet. Talk about the response from some of your friends that have read the book.
I've had a couple of educators, co-workers read the book, and basically they said that anybody that's working in an inner city setting, they need to read the book. So the book is not just for students, it is also for educators, so that they'll know what they're dealing with. And this is not every inner city child, but this is a good portion of them. And they need to know what they're coming in with and what they're dealing with. They need to get involved in the kids' lives. And you know, we're not their parents, but we have to take on that role now. It's a different age. We become their therapists, we become their parents at sometimes before we can even educate, and we have to, because if we don't deal with their basic needs, then they can't learn. So I've got a lot of good response from other educators. I've got good response from family members, from friends. They love the book, actually. I had somebody read it recently, and they said they actually wanted to cry at the end because of the decision that the lead character plays. So I don't want to give out too much about the book. I want, you know.
And one of the things that stands out, because, you know, my mother is a retired educator of over 30 some odd years, and, you know, I'm used to hearing many of these stories. What really stands out is that you get a perspective of it from the other side, from the student side, because, you know, in the news today we always hear what's going on with the teachers, but we rarely hear about what's going on from the students.
Right. The book is written from the perspective of a 16-year-old child. She is the in crowd. She's the girl. She's the it girl, basically. Everybody looks to her. She has the flyest clothes on. She's the one that also goes around calling other people bums. Well, in the beginning of the book, her situation is already kind of bad because her and her family, they've been evicted before, but this particular time they were put out illegally without anything. So now she has become what she calls the bum, and now she has to go through, and she sees it from another point of view. Her other life is coming to a head now because she's kind of living a dual life.
Okay, and they can find out what happens with her when they pick up the book. What's the release date for the book?
I'm going for April 22nd. I just finally got the final edit, so I plan on having it back by April 22nd.
Okay, and they can check all their local bookstores when it comes out April 22nd.
They can check the local bookstores. They'll be able to download it if they have an ebook, or what are they, the electronic books. Also, they can get a copy. They can contact me on Facebook. It's Facebook.com/KEZIAPEARSON. So they can contact me and I'll autograph it if they want me to, and then get a copy from me. Or they can also order it from thebookpatch.com.
Okay, well, I'm going to thank you for being on with me, hanging out with me in the studio, and I definitely will see you out there on the scene again, taking pictures.
Yep.
Or doing another fashion show. But I'll probably have you on at another time to talk about all that.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back with the music of Julie Dexter right here inside the Neo Soul Movement with Doug Ruffin on Mixed 1080 AM WUFO.